Welcome everyone. Today we have a 4 Guys guide on Slime Climb. Yes, this is one of the most difficult map in 4 Guys at the moment, at least that's from my perspective. There are some hard ones like the hexagon, but this one is by far has the highest elimination rate. So about 30% or less people make it through to this race. Let's go into it. Let's explain the basics of the map and let's look at some of the tricks with obstacle courses. So I'll be fast forwarding on the replay, but I'll be posting some of the trial runs we've made with the Slime Climb, some of the mistakes and some of the possible methods to pass it. So at the very start, Slime Climb usually starts with at least 15, 20 or 30 people. So this time we'll have 29 people. As we go through the Slime Climb, very soon do you realize is firstly, don't stay on the corner. It's likely someone might push you off. And yes, jumping might give you a little advantage, but if your distance is not great, jumping might not be the best idea. But if you're going down the slope, by jumping, you actually boost yourself a little further. So you get a speed boost if you jump down the slope. After that, there are 2 tricks to it. You can jump onto the yellow little plateau, and you can actually jump upwards because it's a bouncy plateau. So by bouncing yourself upwards, you can actually skip a big part of the race at the start of the obstacle course. There's a downside to it. Everybody and their friend is going to try for the yellow little shortcut. And what's going to happen is, as we go over it, I'll show you guys. A lot of people who are trying, some might make it, the others will actually fail. But here, we actually saw a few people actually made it. So what's happening is, if a lot of people try to jump and dive at the same time, they might not make it. But if there's a few people who are trying, they will actually make it. So depends on you. If you're ahead of the crowd, yes, you can feel free to try it, but the risk is so high. If you fall down once, you'll be trampled on by everybody else. For me, it's the safest just to run the normal way out and actually just climb myself. So the first obstacle is not difficult. Time yourself correctly with the 3 adjustable pushers that's going to push you down. So the firstly is just wait for each of those, you have the time. But if you're impatient or if someone pushes off, you actually die here because the slimes are catching up. By not taking the shortcut, you're actually putting yourself vulnerable for a fail that will actually end the round right here. But if you take your time, usually you can make it just waiting for the timing. Next up are the balls. The balls will be shot through a cannon, and those balls usually will have a direct angle. What I recommend is stick yourself on the right hand side of the map, and because we just came through this side and saw the balls was hitting towards the right hand side of the map, we stick on the left hand side. But usually if you stick on the right hand side, you can actually take a shortcut here as well. So what do people do is they actually line up over here between the slope and the next obstacle course, and they will be jumping upwards. So that's what I'm doing as well. I actually jumped myself upwards, then I turn my camera angle ready to pass obstacle course here. This one is one of the first difficult challenge for this Slime Climb map. What's going to happen is those 2 pushers are automatically synced and desynced depending on the speed they are adjusted at. What you want to recognize is you want to make sure when you are actually climbing the first one, you want to be timing yourself for the second one, because you cannot stay on the first one and you cannot stay on the second one. So you need to make sure you time yourself correctly. Let's have a look what we did here. First of all, we tried to rush it and that did not work out. And that actually wasted more time if I was more patient. So second of all, notice this time the pushers or the little obstacle is actually desynced. The first time we tried it, it was synced. So what that means is they were both pushing and they were pushing back and pushing in at the same time. Now you want to wait for it to be desynced and then try it again. So here we go. It was desyncing and I was timing myself in such a way is when I was landing on the second platform, it was going backwards. It was not pushing out. And this is the biggest part of the obstacle course, because if you fall down again, likely the slime is going to get you. If you fall into the slime, you'll lose the fight. Now we're up to the little elevator or kind of the treadmill with the obstacle course. This part is not very difficult, but it requires a bit of intuition. You do want to avoid yourself by hitting onto the pink little blocks, and sometimes if you don't make it, you can dive for it. I don't recommend that, but I did do here. So if you find yourself about to fall on the treadmill, what you can do is you can jump. Instead of just running, you can start jumping. By jumping, you actually push yourself a little forward, and sometimes you can get yourself propelled by the little pink bars here. So if they're moving backwards and if you're in front of it, you can push it forward. This is one of the hardest challenges for most players, myself included. Those are the rolling little balls of rolling little bridges that actually will be devastating if one person in front of you or the person behind you start to go sideways. What happens is, if anybody on the same bridge goes a little to the right, a little to the left, it will start rolling, and whoever's on it will actually fall off. What do people do is, you wait for it, you make sure you're the only one on the little bridge, and you make sure you stick to the middle of it. So let's have a look how we go. I'm going to work on it. You don't have to jump the first one. You can easily walk onto the first bridge. You do want to jump on the second bridge though. And here, notice I landed on the wrong corner of that bridge. And that's not good, because that will start the bridge from rolling. Myself and the person in front of me or behind me will also fall because of that. Notice I landed on the bridge after he got off the bridge. It's quite important, just in case the bridge starts to spinning because of him. So this time we jumped in the middle of the bridge. Very important to do that. And when you have multiple people, you can be patient, wait a little bit for them to jump over, then start the jumping. If there's 2 or 3 of you just rushing it, likely most of you are going to fall together. So it's the best to find yourself to jump together. It's best to find yourself to not jump together. Next up, yes, there's so many obstacle courses in this one, right? Next up, the much easier obstacle course, in my opinion, it's the hammer with the slimes. The slimes make you slide. So if you fall down, you might be falling off. What you want to do is, you want to propel yourself in such a way that even if you get hit by the hammer, you actually propel forward and inwards, not outwards. So notice this hammer is swinging outwards. If you leave yourself on the left hand side of it, it will swing you out. It will swing off the obstacle course onto the lower level. You want to be swinged inwards and forward. So that's what we're doing. And sometimes, of course, you can find gaps within the hammers. That's really good as well. So make sure you be careful. So here, I'm actually okay if the hammer smacked me, because it will smack me forward. Again, we're faced with another timing obstacle course. This time there's 4 bars, but those 4 bars are not difficult. The only difficult part is to be impatient, because the slimes are catching up, and it's hard to tell if this is a real slime or if it's just the obstacle course. So what you have to do is just wait for each of the bars, and after each of the bars goes, you just go. But keep in mind, don't touch the bar. If you touch the bar, or if you touch this blue obstacle course, it's actually going to make you unbalanced. If you become unbalanced, that's when you actually are in trouble. Here, we were actually touching the bar. They actually tipped ourselves off, and the player in front of me actually got knocked off. Coming back here, we'll have 2 more obstacle courses before the final line. And notice that we started with, how many people? I think we started with 29 people. Only 3 people has made it to this point. Only 3 people made it through. 1 person's just standing there. So those 2 are not the hardest, but they're not the easiest as well. You are stepping on slime. Stepping on the slime means any potential force will push you towards the direction of the force. If you're pushed by the pink bars, depending on the force and how you're pushed, if you get knocked over, you'll be knocked back, you'll be knocked down into the slime. So be extra careful with those. I actually made a mistake once in one of the maps, you'll see, and I actually got knocked off. And here I was actually propel myself towards the left hand side of the bar. So if I get pushed off, I'm actually safe. If I was on the right hand side, if I get pushed off, I'm actually knocked into the slime. And I lose. Like that little player over there. Like that little blue player over there. He got knocked off into the slime. So here I'm actually trying to keep myself on the left hand side of the slime, and it's quite slippery too. So now we're up to the boss. Be extra careful with the boss. There is only 3 of them, and you can time yourself correctly if you are patient. Never go impatient, because I was celebrating. I was like, yay, I made it. I was like top 2 making it, and what happens is I was knocked off by one of those balls. The force can be very good. The force of the balls are very great. If they hit you on the slime, you just slide off. So make sure you dodge off them. Just take your time. Here I run backwards, I run forward a little bit. I make sure I take my time. And just let the people have their fun. So we rolled over and we made it through. And just on the quick note, let's see how many people out of the 29 actually made it through this race. So we started with 29 people, and now we end with... Yeah, people are getting pushed off as well. We ended with 8. So 29 people left with 8 people. It's close to about 30% or like 35% pass rate for this obstacle course. It is by far one of the hardest, and I have been having a difficult time with it. I've been analyzing the obstacles and been testing things around it. I sometimes made it really well, and sometimes I get stuck on a particular part of the obstacle course. So finally I made it through, so I want to make a guide for us. I'll be posting one of the trials which we succeeded. I'll be posting one of the trials we didn't make it, to just have a contrast of what I did right, what I did wrong here. And you can see that it's not difficult once you understand each part by themselves. It is still very fast-paced because of the urgency of the slime rising up, But take your time, you get used to it. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's go to the replays. So, for the slime climb, I have not succeeded once on this one. Just between us. I'm so bad. I keep going for the shortcuts. Keep trying to do things that never failed. That never worked, always failed. I can make it here. And the next one is a pole that really gets me. This one's a little hard, but we can still manage. We can still manage this one. Oh, please, no, come on. That was so bad. Come on, I had it. I should have stayed a little to the corner too. Okay. Oh, how much chances? Push me. Oh no. Jump. Okay, this is the hard one. Only one person can make it. Oh, I made it. Oh, I have not made it for a while. This is so hard. At least for me. Okay. Knock up is okay. I think I knocked forward. No, it's not that bad now. At least I feel it's not that bad. The hardest one was the pole one. Just take your time and don't get pushed over. The balls. Last time I actually failed on the ball. Oh, too much talking. I thought that was fine, but the thing got me. That would be so difficult. I have never made this slime work, guys. Yeah, 29 people. We'll be lucky with 10 people making it. Highest difficulty map ever. I'm not jumping for that. And not safe. Just take your time. Because if you fall now, you die. On the balls though. Oh no! Oh, this is my last chance. If I fall again, I die. Okay, this is a good timing. Perfect. Oh, don't dive, don't dive. No, 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 no. Jump, jump, jump for your dear life. Oof. Okay, let's take a time. No! Okay, last chance here. Last chance to make it. Okay. Whew. Just be careful how it knocks you, and you should be fine here. By far one of the hardest ones, I feel. Yeah, take your time. If you get knocked off here, you die. So. Oh. He got knocked off. He died. This one, I was like, this one's pretty easy, but turns out it's actually pretty hard. Yeah, like it knocks you off like this. Again. Last time I just walked through as if they meant nothing. Oh, stop knocking me. Oof. I'm actually taking my time here. Yeah, look at this. Only 5 or 6 people made it. It's so difficult. This one's so difficult. Oh, Ray was a qualifier. He can jump in between the 2 pads. Oh, okay, Wiggles. I didn't know that. So you don't have to jump on the bouncing pad to take the shortcut at the start. Yes, I try to not jump on those bouncing pads. It's so difficult jumping on the bouncing pad. People knock you over. Just things goes terribly wrong. So this time I actually went properly. I took my time. Yeah, I don't jump on those bouncy pads. They're big traps.